with two former All-Pros, likely on the move should the Packers make a play. The winds of change are blowing through the NFL, and the Green Bay Packers find themselves at the center of swirling trade speculations. Two former All-Pro players, defensive powerhouse Myles Garrett and dynamic wide receiver Cooper Kupp, appear to be on the verge of leaving their current teams. This raises the inevitable question: should the Packers seize the moment and make a bold move? While Green Bay's front office, led by general manager Brian Gutekunst, has historically been cautious about high-profile trades, this could be an opportunity to shake things up while the core of their young roster remains intact. Myles Garrett, a game-changer for the Packers' defense. On Monday morning, reports surfaced that Myles Garrett, a multiple-time All-Pro and former Defensive Player of the Year, has formally requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns. The 29-year-old pass rusher is still performing at an elite level, coming off his seventh consecutive season with double-digit sacks. With a staggering career total of 102.5 sacks, 20 forced fumbles, and 200 quarterback hits, Garrett is a generational talent. The Browns, in the midst of a roster rebuild, may be willing to part ways with their defensive cornerstone, but at what cost? Acquiring a player of Garrett's caliber is never cheap. The precedent was set in 2018 when the Chicago Bears traded 2 first-round picks, a third-rounder, and a sixth-round pick for Khalil Mack. While Mack was slightly younger at the time, Garrett remains in his prime and would command a similar, if not greater, haul. The Packers have traditionally avoided sacrificing premium draft capital, and Gutekunst has never traded away a first-round pick for a player. However, if the price for Garrett is even slightly lower than what Mack fetched in 2018, Green Bay should at least explore the possibility. The Packers' defense has shown flashes of brilliance but lacks consistency in its pass rush. Garrett would be an instant difference maker, alleviating pressure on the secondary and elevating the entire unit. But is it worth mortgaging multiple first-round picks? The likelihood of Gutekunst making such a deal is slim, yet if the price drops, say 1 first-rounder and a couple of mid-round picks, then it becomes a conversation worth having. The challenge is that other teams, likely with higher draft positions, will also be in the mix, making it difficult for Green Bay to win a bidding war. Cooper Kupp, a veteran presence or a risky investment? Later that same day, another bombshell dropped: 2021 NFL Offensive Player of the Year. Cooper Kupp is reportedly on the trading block. At 32 years old, Kupp's name still carries weight, but injuries have plagued his recent seasons. His 2021 campaign was legendary, with 145 receptions for 1,947 yards, culminating in a Super Bowl victory with the Rams. However, recurring hamstring and ankle issues have kept him from replicating that success. The Packers' receiving corps, featuring Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, Malik Heath, and Bo Melton, remains young and unproven. Christian Watson's ACL injury further complicates Green Bay's situation, creating a need for an experienced pass catcher. In theory, Kupp could provide that veteran leadership. However, his contract presents a major obstacle. He's owed $20 million in 2025 and nearly $19.85 million in 2026, an exorbitant price for a player with recent durability concerns. The Rams are reportedly open to covering part of Kupp's salary to facilitate a trade, making a deal more palatable. If the Packers could land him for a day 3 draft pick and a manageable salary cap hit, it might be worth the gamble, but anything beyond that, such as surrendering premium picks or absorbing most of his contract, would be a significant risk. While Kupp's mentorship would undoubtedly benefit Green Bay's young receivers, the Packers must weigh whether they are acquiring a reliable contributor or a player whose best days are behind him. The Packers' philosophy: smart over. Flashy Green Bay's success has long been built on a foundation of drafting, developing, and maintaining a competitive window through strategic roster management. While the allure of adding high-caliber talent like Garrett or Kupp is undeniable, it must align with the organization's long-term vision. The Packers do not typically engage in splashy high-risk trades, and given the potential cost of these acquisitions, it's likely that Gutekunst will remain disciplined. That said, the NFL is full of surprises. If the asking price for Garrett drops to a more reasonable range, or if Kupp becomes available for a bargain deal, the Packers should be ready to act. The team has a promising young core, and a calculated addition could elevate them into serious contention. What do you think? Should the Packers go all in on Garrett or Kupp, or should they stick to their traditional approach?